10 years ago, if you would have put $10,000 in the SMH, it'd be worth $1.4 million.
What?
We can't think that the advice that our grandparents use is still good for us. The house that my grandparents bought, it was like $28,000 when they bought it. It is the 40 most important companies to tech for the next decade. It is powering the future, but not just artificial intelligence. If you think electric vehicles, if you think missiles, if you think satellites, SPMO is like your Wagyu.
Yes, sir.
We giving you a better grade of fund. Like, no. Give me the best companies that you have.
Yes.
Because of fractional shares, there's no such thing as affordability in the stock market. Affordability is a myth in the stock market.
I don't want none of us to be like, what do people say? Dang, I wish I had. I want us to be like, dang, I'm in there.
Almost 50% of the people who watch and listen to this show every single week aren't even subscribed yet. That means half of you all are just passing by, but you're missing out on the fullness of this journey. Listen, this isn't just a YouTube show or a podcast. This is a movement to help you get out of the red, get into the black, break free from consumer debt, and start building real wealth. Not just for you, not just for your family, but what about for your children who possibly you will never even meet, but they'll know who you are because you left them something. Listen, every single episode is about giving you the tools, the mindset, and the community to finally experience the freedom, the peace, and the abundance you've been praying for. Come on, somebody. I want you to be able to say yes to your dreams and to stop worrying about bills and to leave a legacy that outlives you. But you can't do it alone. Better yet, you should not even be doing it alone. But the truth of the fact is, you don't have to do it alone. If you are tired of just surviving and you're ready to start thriving, hit that subscribe button right now. Don't just watch from the sidelines. I want you to join this amazing community. Let's break these chains together and build the future you deserve. Your journey to financial freedom starts with one simple step today. Just hit that subscribe button, and together we're gonna build something amazing. Here's the second step. Pay attention to today's show. Let's get to it.
Yo, fam, it's 2026, man. And I wanted to bring my brother back because one of the things that we've learned, and he and I talked about this, is the importance of knowing what has worked and what's working. So today's show, I really want you to get a pen, get a paper, and write down every single index fund stock that Courtney mentions. And I need you all to open up an account today, a brokerage account, and go invest. Because one of the biggest things that I'm seeing is that people perish for the lack of knowledge. That's number one. And then two, people they don't move forward because they don't act. You hear the information, but you don't act. All right. And so, man, Courtney's back in the building, y'all. And Courtney, you know me, we don't need no introduction, bro. I really want to get into it. Let me talk to you this first. Again, for the new people, and just really for everyone. What exactly is an index fund? Because you'll hear an index fund, you'll hear a mutual fund, you'll hear an ETF, you'll hear, a single stock. I think it's very important, very quickly, if we could just break down what is an index fund, what is an ETF, what is a mutual fund?
Yeah. So a mutual fund, instead of investing in an individual company, which is a stock, mutual fund is a basket of stocks. Okay. Really, really good because it gives you diversification. If something happens to a few companies, all of your money isn't at risk.
Yes.
All right. That's the benefit to a mutual fund.
Okay.
Now, inside of a mutual fund, you have different types of funds you can have, right? You can have an index fund or you can have an ETF.
Okay.
Here's the thing. There's ETFs and index funds are very similar and people mix them up all the time. So this is how I like to break it down. So an index fund tells you what you're investing in. An ETF tells you how you buy it. Okay. So you can have an ETF that is an index fund.
Okay.
Here's another example.
That's good.
An index fund is your playlist.
Yes.
Okay.
Sir.
So on your playlist, you may have some Drake, You may have some Bryson Tiller. You may have some SZA. That's your playlist.
Okay.
But what you listen to it on is Apple Music or Spotify.
Yeah.
And that's your ETF.
Bro, that was brilliant. That's why he's the investing expert. That's why y'all got to go to his YouTube channel, subscribe, and really just get this information. Because how he just broke that down, I don't know if I could even done it even better. This is his lane, all right? And so when we talk about index funds, ETFs, which one are you really pushing people more to? Which now that we understand it, if people say, yo, I want to get an ETF or index fund and they've never started, which one would you say get first?
The ETFs, and most of the ETFs that we're going to talk about, they're also index funds.
Okay.
So mostly ETFs. And the reason for that is ETFs trade like stocks.
Okay.
You can buy them any time of day. You can buy fractional shares. There's no additional rules.
Yep.
Some of the more traditional index funds don't trade like that.
Okay.
You basically can only buy them once a day. So you put an order in, it doesn't get filled until the close of the day.
Yeah.
Some of the older ones, they still have minimums. You can't buy fractional shares.
Yeah.
Most of the newer index funds you can, but ETFs is what we're going to talk about today.
I love it. And before we get those ETFs, you said something that I've never done a lesson on, and I need to do a lesson on it, but you mentioned fractional shares. What exactly would you say in your language is a fractional share? Because I think a lot of people miss out on investing because they can't buy a full, share or a full stock, but you can get a fractional share, a fractional stock. Can you break that down for us? Exactly what does that mean?
Yeah, you're buying a piece of a stock. And because of fractional shares, there's no such thing as affordability in the stock market. Don't be looking at, it's not like, you're buying a car and you're looking for the cheapest car.
Yes.
You don't have to do that with investing. Regardless of what the price is, you can buy a piece of it and your piece is going to move at the same rate as the full stock.
I love it. All right, man, let's get into it. I think some people came today so they can get an ETF, buy even a fractional share. I need y'all to really dial in, write these things down, get the notes, open up a brokerage account, and go buy these. And then 2, I need y'all to subscribe to his podcast channel. And I think you're doing a lesson Thursday, right?
Yep. Thursday, we're doing our free beginners investing class. So anybody that's looking for a strong foundation, you want to learn a little bit more without the risk, just pop in.
Hey, we're going to link all of his information inside of the show notes and his investment course. All right. What's not fractional? Lord Jesus. What's ETF number 1, man?
So let's talk about ETF. And look, I'm going to do 3. And
Okay.
Let me tell you why I'm going to do 3.
All right.
When you start talking about 5 mutual funds, like you start possibly getting into some overlap, you start getting into some very industry specific things because you don't need that many.
Yeah.
All right. So I want to keep people focused on what's core. And then if you want to add some other things onto that based on industry or some other things, you can do that. But I want to talk about the core of your portfolio. So what we're going to talk about is the core. So I'm going to do 3.
All right, bet.
All right. So number 1.
Yeah.
Hey man, this could be a whole show right here. I'm gonna keep it short. All right. So everybody likes to start out with the S&P 500, but
Facts.
Here's what people don't know. You can invest in different variations of the S&P 500. Most people start off with VOO, VOO. You hear people talk about VOO all the time.
Yep.
Well, the one that I like more than VOO, that's the variation on the S&P 500, is ticker SPMO.
SPMO.
SPMO. So let me tell you what this is. So this is a variation of the S&P 500 where how they select the companies is based on momentum.
Okay.
So you're not investing in everything. It's 500 companies
Right.
in the S&P 500. All of them aren't doing well and all of them don't have the juice.
Yeah.
So what they do with SPMO, they say, okay, well, who has the juice?
Yeah.
Give us the top 100 companies that have juice for the last 6 months. And every 6 months, they rotate them out.
Check this out, family. Did you know that nearly 4 in 10 Americans still have zero money invested in the stock market? That's a gap where wealth is built or missed. If you're just saving, you're falling behind because the markets average close to about a 10% a year for a century, while your savings account is barely keeping up with inflation. I want to make this plain. If you wait just 5 years to start investing, you could lose out on hundreds of thousands of dollars in future wealth. That's not hype, that's real math. The wealthiest 10% of Americans now own over 90% of all stocks because they started and they stayed consistent. But here's the thing, you don't need to be rich to honestly get inside of the investing game. With platforms like SoFi Invest, Public, and Moomoo, you can open an account today, start with as little as $1, literally, and buy fractional shares of the same assets that have built generational wealth for millions. No commissions, 100% no excuses on your end. Listen, I need you to hear me clearly. Stop sitting on the sidelines. Go to anthonyoneal.com/invest right now to compare the top investing platforms and open your first investing account today. Your future self and your children's children will thank you for taking action right now. We have to start building wealth, not just watching others get rich. Do not let another year go by. As a matter of fact, don't let another day go by. Take the first step, family. Visit anthonyoneal.com/invest. Let's get to work. Let's start investing ASAP. Let's get back to the show.
So this is the crazy thing about SPMO.
Come on, man.
All right. The crazy thing about it is 10 years ago, this fund is about right at 10 years.
Yeah.
If you would have invested $10,000,
Right.
it would be worth about $52,000 today. Whereas VU would only be $40,000.
Right.
And here's the most impressive thing about it for me. It is not so much that it outperformed VU, it's also what it did in a down year.
Yeah.
So the last down year that we had was 2022.
Right.
VU was down about 20%.
Okay.
SPMO was only down 10. And it's because of the way that it's managed. So I used to always give this comparison of like VOO being like a ribeye. All right. It's like a ribeye.
Yeah.
Then the other one that I really like was VOOG.
Yeah.
So VOOG basically trimmed the fat.
Yeah.
Right. And gave you the top performing companies
Yes.
of VOO.
Yeah.
But see, SPMO comes in, it's like, we doing this even better.
Right.
We giving you a better grade of fund.
Yeah.
So SPMO is like your Wagyu.
Yes, sir.
You know what I'm saying? This is your Wagyu. And so they change it out. They change the companies every 6 months based on momentum. It's about 100 companies in it any given time.
Now, I forgot, how much is it now to buy in, do you know?
VU is around like $600.
Yeah. Yeah.
$650.
650. And SPMO is at,
Let's look it up.
let's look it up, bro. Let's look it up. You know, I got SPMO, but I forgot how much my financial advisor had me invest into it.
Let's see. It is $117.
If y'all ain't gonna get SPMO right now at 117, y'all, because 10 years ago it wasn't at 117.
Nah.
Okay. All right. Yo, here we go. Oh, let me ask you this question. I think that there's some people saying, wait. So they're saying that they're trading out the companies. So if we have 100 companies today, then let's just say 3 years, 10 years down the road, they trade them out to another set of companies. During that transition, will we see stocks go down because it's brand new companies in it?
You're gonna see some movement in general at any given time.
Yes, sir.
But you're gonna always have the 100 best companies and how they're moving.
Yes.
At any point in time. And that's the beauty of it.
And I love, because it's all about momentum. So you're getting the companies that are just scaling and just doing very well and building up traction. And then when those companies fall off, we're going to bring in a brand new set of 100 companies that are scaling and building traction and moving. And so I love that. Now, let me ask you this question too. I've been thinking about this personally. So when I see the companies go out, I tend to follow those and maybe continue to follow their success and then even buy single stocks. Do you sometimes suggest that?
Oh, yeah. Yeah, because especially if it's a really, really good company, you know, sometimes you can have things going on. We're seeing it with a couple names we've talked about on the show. They're still really good companies.
Facts.
They're just not, the stock price just isn't moving as much.
Yeah.
So that could be a reason to look at a company and try to buy a dip.
Love it. Love it. All right. Number 2, bro. We got number 1, SPMO. Yeah, boy.
Number 2, SMH.
SMH. Yes, sir. Hey, we talked about this.
We've talked about SMH
Yes, sir.
multiple times. So SMH is the semiconductor ETF.
Yes, sir.
It is the 40 most important companies to tech for the next decade. It may be the most important ETF that exists. It is powering the future. It includes the majority of the chip companies that are responsible for artificial intelligence, but not just artificial intelligence. If you think electric vehicles, if you think missiles, if you think satellites, technology, cell phones, mobile devices, the companies that make that stuff work are in SMH.
Boy, I bought that last year, boy. I just tell you right now, I'm enjoying the returns right now.
It's up over 100%.
Oh my gosh.
In the last year.
Oh my gosh, I love it. I wake up like, let me see what SMH is doing today. Oh, jeez.
It's wild. And here's the crazy thing, man. This sounds really unbelievable.
Right.
But it shows you the growth of this sector. 10 years ago, if you would have invested in SMH, I'm not joking, man. I had to go back and look at the numbers. 10 years ago, if you would have put $10,000 into SMH, it'd be worth $1.4 million.
Not 10 years ago.
10 years ago, it'd be worth $1.4 million.
10 bands would be worth 1.4.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. You literally would have had to have had a crystal ball and think like names like NVIDIA, for instance. NVIDIA has really become a household name like in the last 2, maybe 3 years if you've really been following like financial podcasts and stuff like that. You start talking about 10 years ago, what was NVIDIA, right? And so if you look at how fast those companies have grown, it starts to make sense. I mean, NVIDIA is just one. There's some other names in there that some of those companies hadn't even been founded yet.
Facts.
But, is it going to continue that level of growth? No. And anytime you're investing, you never want to look at what has happened in the past and think that that's going to happen again in the future.
Right.
What you do is you look at, does this industry make sense? Do we still need it?
Yeah.
And we're not becoming less reliant on technology.
We're becoming more. Yeah.
More and innovation is happening faster. But
Check this out, family. Did you know that nearly 4 in 10 Americans still have zero money invested in the stock market? That's a gap where wealth is built or missed. If you're just saving, you're falling behind because the markets average close to about a 10% a year for a century, while your savings account is barely keeping up with inflation. I want to make this plain. If you wait just 5 years to start investing, you could lose out on hundreds of thousands of dollars in future wealth. That's not hype, that's real math. The wealthiest 10% of Americans now own over 90% of all stocks because they started and they stayed consistent. But here's the thing, you don't need to be rich to honestly get inside of the investing game. With platforms like SoFi Invest, Public, and Moomoo, you can open an account today, start with as little as $1, literally, and buy fractional shares of the same assets that have built generational wealth for millions. No commissions, 100% no excuses on your end. Listen, I need you to hear me clearly. Stop sitting on the sidelines. Go to anthonyoneal.com/invest right now to compare the top investing platforms and open your first investing account today. Your future self and your children's children will thank you for taking action right now. We have to start building wealth, not just watching others get rich. Do not let another year go by. As a matter of fact, don't let another day go by. Take the first step, family. Visit anthonyoneal.com/invest. Let's get to work. Let's start investing ASAP. Let's get back to the show.
I think this one is an important one. All 3 of them that you mentioned today are super important, but I think this one's very important because I think specifically within our community, we miss out on something that's on the high trajectory because we're fearful to invest into something that we don't know if it's going to work. But we see what AI is doing right now. We see that we're getting electric cars. Man, where was I at? I was in New York, man, and they had a car driving by itself.
Oh.
That's a lot of technology.
Yeah.
I didn't get in it. But I'm sitting there thinking, man, that's a lot of technology. And just being around you and just my mindset of other people, I'm like, I need to be investing more into what's powering this.
Yeah.
Because that's going to be maybe not our future, but it would definitely be our children's future for sure.
Here's the crazy thing, bro. It's our future. You saw the self-driving car like
Bro, you're right.
not too long ago.
You're right.
The car was driving itself.
Itself, bro.
Yeah, people, if you live in Austin, if you live in the Bay Area, they're getting like Waymo is popping. Waymo is commercialized. I've seen Waymo around this area.
I can't do it, bro.
Yeah. I feel like if I get in a car with, certain drivers, I'm taking the same chance.
No, you're right. No, you are right. Boy, I was in the Uber the other day and I was like, bro, you all right?
You know what I'm saying? You got to check on him.
Straight, bro, the way he was driving and going through, I was like, bro, you better get a negative review, doc. Like, you need to calm down. But no, I believe that we gotta invest in SMH, man. I put money into it every single month. And that's a part of my wealth building strategy.
Yeah.
Because I just think that I want to invest into what we're getting a glimpse of and what we're seeing now. It's like, wow, like my mom was so funny. My mom was talking about when they grew up, they didn't have cell phones. Right. And then when she got into her 20s, they had the big old car phones, and then now it's like, okay, cell phone has replaced home phones.
Yeah.
Like no one's getting really a home phone anymore.
Bro, cell phones have almost replaced computers.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Like it's wild, man.
Yeah.
And we had a conversation maybe 2 episodes ago about like picks and shovels and investing in the picks and shovels. Like SMH, it's the picks and shovels.
Yes, sir.
Of the AI revolution.
Man, listen. What is SMH out right now? I need to see.
Let me tell you how I'm wired. I looked at my portfolio this morning, and all I'm looking at is returns.
Bro,
look at the price.
Me too, bro. I look at the gains. What did I gain this?
It's about 393 today.
Yeah.
But let me tell you why. Right. Let me tell you why I don't look at the prices, and I don't want anybody else to look at the prices because the price itself doesn't matter. Again, remember you can buy fractional shares, so affordability is no longer a thing.
Facts.
People couldn't invest in certain stocks during a period of time because they couldn't afford them.
Yes, sir.
Affordability is a myth in the stock market now.
Yeah. No, I love it. All right, we got one more, bro. Talk to me. What's the last one?
All right, so I got a little bit of lead into this one.
Okay,
because there are people watching this that are going to be like, I wonder if he's going to say VTI or some variation of VTI. And for those that don't know, VTI is known as the total market mutual fund. It includes every company that's like 3,800 companies traded on the major exchanges.
Yes, sir.
And so VTI includes all of them. And for a long time, people used to talk like, hey, put your money in the VTI, you invest in total stock market. And VTI historically has done decent.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
But we're smarter now.
Yeah.
We know where our future is going.
Yeah.
I look at VTI as being a participation trophy. Okay? If you show up, you get it.
Right.
You know what I'm saying?
Right.
Like I want to go back to the old school, to where you like really had to be good to get a trophy, you got to actually show up.
Yes, sir.
Okay?
Yes,
and now we know so much about our future and good companies.
Yeah.
We know how to identify them.
Yeah.
We don't need to own every company traded on the stock market.
No, sir.
So the opposite of that is owning the biggest companies traded on the stock market, which leads me to our third ETF, which is TOPT.
Yeah.
TOPT. It's top with a T on the end, and it is the largest 20 companies traded on the stock market.
And when you say largest, are you talking about capital or are you talking about employees? Or when you say large, what do you mean?
We're talking about market capitalization. So the stock price times the number of shares that are being traded on the stock market.
Love it.
If a company falls out of the top 20, they come out of there and whoever's 20 moves in. And they rotate based on the size. So think of it like TOPT. This is like your starting 5.
Yes, sir.
Okay. We don't care about who on the bench, the 6th man. Right. We don't care about who in the G League and may come up to the NBA. Like, no. Give me the best companies that you have.
Yes.
Another reason why I like TOPT is because we compare it to like a QQQM,
Yes,
for
sir.
instance, which is the NASDAQ, top 100 tech companies.
Right.
People were probably wondering if that was going to be one.
Right.
The thing about that is there is an overemphasis on tech in QQQM. We know tech is moving, and QQQM is a great ETF to own.
Fact.
But see, we already have SMH.
Yep.
Right?
Yep.
We already have SPMO. There's going to be a lot of overlap there.
Yes.
The thing about TOPT is that now we get some exposure into some other industries outside of tech.
Yes.
So you're going to get JP Morgan Chase.
Yes.
That's going to be in there. You're going to get Eli Lilly. That's going to be in there, right? You're going to get some exposure into some other industries that's going to give you more diversification with your ETF portfolio.
This is good information right here, bro. I got the first two. I don't have TOPT. I need to look into TOPT.
And it's new. That's another thing. This one is new.
Okay.
So literally created in 2025.
See, yeah. Okay, I was about to say, because No, I study money, but I don't have TOPT.
This is a new one.
So would you say out of the three, if someone says, all right, I got 500 today, I'm going to open up a brokerage account, which one should they invest in first?
SPMO.
SPMO.
If you could choose one, SPMO is where I'm going.
And then if you could choose two, SPMO, then SMH?
Then SMH.
And then the last one, TOPT.
Yeah. And also because TOPT, we don't have any history to look at there.
Yeah.
You know, this is more so like ideology. It's like, okay, we know that it's the biggest companies traded on the stock market that's creating the growth.
Right.
Okay. It's not, you know, people talk about, what about the small caps and mid? Like, I get that. You got some small caps and some mid caps that are doing well. There's some that we've talked about that we like a lot.
Yeah.
But overall, it's the big boys that's moving the market.
Yeah. No. I'm with you on that one, man. I'm gonna look into TOPT myself and see how I feel about that one. I'm gonna look into that. But I definitely got the first two. And I want to encourage you all, listen, 2026, y'all got to get in on it. Y'all got to get in on it, man. I believe this could be the year that you all can change your financial future if you all don't just listen to the knowledge. Remember on the last episode that I talked about these 5 books, right? And it's all about how we think, how we see money, and the difference between middle-class people and wealthy people is not necessarily income. It is information. It is knowledge. And Courtney just dropped major knowledge that I believe all of us can benefit from. Like I never heard of TPOT. Did I say it? No, TOPT. And I literally, when I go home today, I'm literally calling my financial advisor and be like, yo, let's have a conversation. Like, I want to look into this. Maybe not put a whole lot into it. Just put a little bit into it since it's new. But we're already maxing out on the other two. But this is why I have him on the show at least once a month. And this is why I need you all to subscribe to his YouTube channel. Because the man is dropping knowledge about investing. I even saw a video. I haven't even talked to him about it. I even saw a video where he was talking about like how if you don't buy a house, it's not a negative, because how you can still invest that money.
Absolutely.
And I was like, yo, Corey, that's good, because I think a lot of people think they miss out on being a home owner, quote unquote. But I'm like, the way you broke it down, I was like, well, if you're not a homeowner, are you at least investing right? And here's the best way to go about it.
Yeah, man. We gotta, we can't think that the advice that our grandparents use is still good for us.
Come on, bro.
You know, we got to get to a place to where we have to reevaluate things. Cause you know what? The house that my grandparents bought, it was like $28,000 when they bought it.
Facts.
You know what I'm saying?
Facts.
You know, college for our parents, you know, cost the same amount as a hot water heater.
Yes, sir.
You know, we live in a different era. So we have to really look at the data, look at the numbers to evaluate what's going to make sense for our future. Yeah. And we don't just do something because you've seen people before you do it. Question our norms. And because of the price of things in this country, we have to evaluate what provides the best financial return.
Everything's all about system and strategy. You got to look at it. What's the best system and strategy for yourself?
Absolutely.
And then once you identify that system and that strategy, all right, cool, great. You got to stick to that system and strategy. Don't worry about what Instagram is doing. Don't worry about what you see on TikTok. It's invest, man. And I'm telling y'all, Courtney said something today that just shook I was like, what? You mean to tell me if I would have put $10,000 in the SMH 10 years ago, I had 10 bands 10 years ago.
Yeah.
I can have 1.4 today? Okay, cool, great. Not saying SMH gonna give me 1.4 in the next 10 years, but it's gonna give me something. And I'm not gonna miss out on it moving forward. And I don't want none of us to be like, what do people say? Dang, I wish I had. I want us to be like, dang, I'm in there. And so listen, y'all, I need y'all to get these stocks. I need y'all to subscribe to Courtney's YouTube channel. And I need y'all to get on his masterclass on Thursday and really learn the basics. Listen, don't be ashamed to be like, yo, I don't know nothing. Because here's the truth. 80% of American people don't have basic financial literacy knowledge. And it's because we are too embarrassed to be like, I need to learn. And as he got a master's in money. I got a master's in money. I'm going for my doctorate in finance and investing. And I still learn from Courtney. I'm still learning, right? So you will always be learning. But if you do not take the first step and just show up, consume the knowledge, put it into action, you're never going to get past where you need to be at. I'm curious, bro, what is one thing that you're working on this year within your portfolio personally for you and your family? Like, what is one strategy or one thing you're really like, okay, I'm going to dial in a little bit more over here for my personal situation?
Man, that's a good question. I think that I am going to be taking more risks this year. So to connect something that you just said about, 10 years ago, $10,000 in SMH, it'd be, 1.4. Now, I am really wanting to focus on like the next level of innovation that we're going into. And I want to start putting more money there.
Wow.
That's like the big thing. And so, and what we have to do is, you only have so much money, right?
Yes, sir.
So you got to prioritize, what you want to make most important. Yep. And so, that's the thing for me is like focusing in on the technology, the innovation, the companies that I feel like can be that next thing.
No, I love that. No, I love that. And it's so funny now when I'm traveling, when I'm doing like my own personal reading every morning before I get to work, I'm always asking myself, okay, what company is funding this? And then I found myself one day, I spent the whole hour just searching companies that funds this, that does this, that does this. Okay, so you're the company that I never heard of. What is your stock price at? Because you are behind all of this. And I love how you're saying it's like, how do we learn what's in the future? Where are we going? And how do I get in on that now? So that way, hopefully, I can have an SMH kind of return 10 years from now. You'll then sow into your daughter, sow into your fiance's children down the road. And it's like, for me, that's where I'm at too, bro. Man, I appreciate you, man.
Yeah, for sure.
Bro, we've been rocking together now 6 months, providing, just some solid information. And that's one thing that I really am focusing on this year is making sure that our people get solid information. And I say this all the time, and this is, Courtney won't flex, but it's not really about flex. It's that you have two people who have degrees in money. He had his degree before me, right? And I think that's important. And one thing, the reason why I asked Courtney, what are you working on? Because he's practicing what he's educated in and what he's preaching. And there's a lot of people who just get on YouTube, regurgitate stuff, but they're not even investing. They're not even practicing what they're preaching. And yet alone, they don't even have the credentials behind their name to properly assess the situation, right? And so thank y'all for watching as much as possible. Share this with someone and send it to your mom, send it to your boyfriend, send it to your girlfriend, send it to your children. Hey, baby, if you got 100, get a fractional share. Like Courtney said, affordability is no longer in the conversation. You got to take action. And you do that. Get that brokerage account today and open it up. We're going to leave it up to y'all. Courtney comes in once a month. What is one thing you want us to talk about? Put it inside the chat, and whatever's comment, I'll get our team to go through the comments, and we will do this because we want to make sure that we're giving you all value and make sure that we're answering the questions that you all want to answer, because this is a partnership, and I want to help get Courtney to 100,000 subscribers before the summer. He's going to get married hopefully in the summer, so I want to get him 100,000 people who love and support him and his fiance. So do me a favor. He's tagged on this video. Subscribe. And I said it 5 times. Can't y'all tell I love my brother? I love my sister-in-law. You know what I'm saying? Subscribe. Not because we want his views up, but because the man is giving value. He's giving value that changes your life, that could change your family's future. Let's support the man. Let's get him to 100,000 subs. All right, y'all. We love y'all. God bless you. See you in the next show.